Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. And close out today's show. And if you didn't listen to that last segment with our man Ricky Hoot Hazlegrove out of Toon, Tennessee.
Do you call him Gunny?
I would call him that. He was a gunnery sergeant. Isn't that what he said?
Yeah. Sergeant, yeah.
In the Marines, and his mom has got a place over in Beaufort, South Carolina, low country, and he lives on the family farm there out of Toon, over 300 acres, I think. But he's got fields, he's got bottoms, and everything like that. He and his 1-year-old lab named Diesel. I thought that was a pretty cute name,
yeah.
And Diesel is very familiar. But I thought you guys would like that. And
you know where Beaufort, South Carolina is.
Oh, I've been there. I've ridden in a carriage there. Yeah,
just a little north of Hilton Head.
Yes, that's right. And there's some famous actresses from there, and I can't remember right now off the top of my head. But we spent a lot of time on a vacation over there, and loved that. Boy, they know how to cook over there. Oh my goodness! We had mentioned food because Wong's not on the show, but
yeah.
we could quickly mention that. But so, Gene, I know we're going to do some puns and everything like this. This is also a time that normally you might be doing some hunter education
right.
classes.
I miss the kids.
Yeah, and you miss that, I know, as many as you've done in your lifetime, but. It just seems like ongoing, but there's light at the end of the tunnel, guys. We just got to get out of the tunnel first.
Well, I've been still getting walking sticks. I got 6 new ones.
Yeah, we got to get that one over to Dale Sanders.
We sure do. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to work that out. You got 6 new ones.
Right.
What do you look for in that walking stick? I mean, you look for a certain
I look for
vine.
A tree with a honeysuckle vine wrapped around it.
You do what now?
A tree with a honeysuckle vine on it.
Oh, really?
That's what squeezes it and makes it grow in a spiral shape.
So how do you just get it off the tree? I mean, you prise it off the tree? Or?
Well, most of the time it's a whole tree. It's a short tree about 8 foot tall.
Uh-huh.
And I just bring my saw just like he carry. I carry saw and clippers.
Yeah.
And I can. Buddy of mine has some property on Cuba Millington Road. I got one tree there, and I made 3 sticks out of it.
And I know that you don't just get these as walking sticks. You take time to, folks, he really decorates them. I mean, you've been known to go to what, Salvation Army and pick up, what do you?
Well, I go to Hobby Lobby and Salvation Army, different things. I had put eyeballs on them. It's kind of neat. Of course,
you put little shoes on them too. I mean, that's.
Oh yeah, I put a little. Get that at the Goodwill store. Them little bitty baby shoes.
Yeah. Okay.
Sometimes there's a bear that has shoes on, and I screw them to the bottom of the thing. I had a lady out at Shelby Forest store one time. They had a meeting out there, and she flipped all that one with a little shoe on, a little tennis shoes.
Yeah.
She thought it barely did have a ring around it with a vine wrapped around it, but she thought that was the coolest thing with that shoe.
The shoe did it. The shoe.
Yeah, she gave me $20 for it.
She did.
Yeah.
Okay, folks. So he is now. The IRS knows now.
Yeah.
That Gene has made $20. Dave, I know you and Gene go back a long way.
Oh yeah, I'm just going to ask you, what species of tree is more common?
Beech.
To find that way.
Beech mostly. Once in a while, I get an oak, but oak's pretty tough. It doesn't ring real well. I mean, the vine doesn't make a deep impression on it, but the beech grows so fast, and the vine just squeezes it. I tell the kids, like taking a thing of silly putty and squeezing it, and your fingers make designs in it.
And you make these about how tall? I mean, you try to keep them about the same length?
Yeah, I get most of them at probably 6 foot tall, and I got some that's short, and I put a wooden ball on top of it. It's only waist high, like a walking stick, walking cane.
Yeah. Well, I know I've got a couple that Gene has made, and Gene's made, he took an old boat paddle and decorated for me. He and Charlie Covington are both
that turned out real well.
Yeah, they are both very talented stuff. And I know, Dave, you and Gene have known each other a long time, and I know at this time of the year, you know, you retired when? How long ago?
I retired in, in 2018.
2018. In what month?
In February.
In February. Okay. Golly, that's over 2 years ago. It seemed like it was yesterday and everything. But Dave, I know where Gene is the person that makes walking sticks and teaches kids hunter education. Dave is a person that can take a firearm apart and put it back together.
Blindfolded.
Yeah, he's done it for me. I keep bringing him my shotguns and everything like that. And
I think you got one I need to look at.
Yeah, I'm gonna once we figure out a golf date, we're gonna be able to do that. But as he said, he's going not skeet shooting today. He's going trap shooting today.
That's right.
And and is that a love that you started when you were growing up in Fraser, or was that? I've always wanted to ask you that, and we got a chance here. How did you get into that?
Well, I started shooting at a very young age. 6 years of age. Started out shooting, BB guns and 22 rifles and stuff, and on my father's side of the family, he came from, fairly large family. So at family get-togethers, a lot of uncles around and stuff and sitting around, and it didn't take long for somebody to, break out the 22 rifle and out there on the wood pile start tacking up bottle caps.
Because your family had land in Henderson County, right? I mean,
right.
Yeah.
My family's, originally from up here in Henderson County.
Yeah, but you moved your family from your dad, Mr. Glenn. How old was he when he passed? 101. 101. That's the oldest funeral I've ever been to. When his dad died at 101. So you think, don't you think this has been a time? And I agree with one of the guests today. Said might have been Casey or somebody talked about this has been a bonding time for a lot of families.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I've seen more and more on Facebook than I've ever seen.
Well, somebody said it's going to be a array of new babies.
Well, I didn't get into that. Now, I wasn't thinking about that bonding. No, I was thinking more about taking the kids to the outdoors.
Well, oh, yeah, I miss outdoors, yeah.
Well, for kids now, I mean, I'm seeing that. Dave, aren't you seeing that?
Oh, yeah, and that's what I couldn't understand in Tennessee when over the last couple of weeks when they started into that, when they, shut down. Some of the state parks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm going, well, the outdoors, that's the ultimate social distancing,
Yes, it is.
Especially if for fishing, somebody's up in front of the boat and you got about 15 feet between you to the back of the boat, And
it's turkey hunting's the same way. I think really once this is passed, Gene, I think there will be a floodload of hunter education kids wanting to take the course.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait. Well, I missed my junior ranger camp at Shelby Forest and my camp at Shelby Farms.
And you missed the Graceland event, right? I mean,
oh, yeah, great. Well, they postponed that to the fall.
So that will be
in 1,100 kids there.
Yeah, so there's been so many different things, but at the same time, we have to look at some of the positives here with dads getting ready or like would have been like my uncle taking me fishing and all this time that we had to do certain things and it's the way with me. I've turkey and I have not killed one yet, okay, but I've enjoyed going in the outdoors and spending that time and using my 20 gauge, and I'm gonna let Dave. Hoot uses a 12 gauge. It must weigh more than me. It felt like. And I don't know how these guys carry these a 12 gauge. The Camel gun he's got was so heavy, but I've gone to the 20 gauge. I can move better and things like that. And now, as we mentioned earlier on the previous show, they're shooting 410s.
Oh yeah, the technology and the advances in ammunition.
Ammunition, that's what it is.
Especially when it comes for turkey hunting. I know several people that's taken turkey so far this year with a little 410 single barrel with a little red dot scope on top, and
yes. You know, those are hard to find now. You know, if someone out there wants to give me a present this year, I wish I could. Who's ever got my 410 that I traded in on this 20 gauge Benelli about 10 years ago? Can I have it back now? I mean, I had a 410 double barrel Savage, and someone in a real low moment talked me into trading it. Let me tell you about next week's show. Second Saturday, that means Ron Wong and hopefully John Gordon. And if Ron's here, we're going to talk some fishing. He'll give us the latest Mid-South fishing reports. We're hoping to hook up with pro angler Scott Canterbury. We're thinking they just had a big contest, and some nurse won an opportunity to go fishing with Scott, and we'll hope to talk about that.
All right.
We're going to talk to the people at Fish Hippie. That's just a great Fish Hippie. It's a great name, and so even if we don't get them, I'm glad to talk about it and everything. And there's a new action camera that's been developed just for anglers. We're high-tech now, buddy. I mean, really high-tech when we would go to this. Dave Gabbard, thank you for being with us. Wish you were here. You were here.
You think next month, you think first Saturday in June we'll be able to be in the studio?
Me and Shelby have no clue. We have no clue.
Okay.
We're not rushing it here at Intercom Radio. I agree with their policy. We're just trying to be me and Shelby here, but I hope so. And Gene, thank you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Stay healthy. Stay healthy. Don't call me from the hospital or anything like that.
That's right.
All right. Make them walking sticks. Have a great time. And folks, remember, as I always say, it doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport. And what else, guys? God bless USA.